Hello, all guys, gals, and non binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout, watch a lot of wrestling.
David, I'm a noob, haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, or am I? I could be anyone and anything because it's totally random. You don't seem
Yeah,
you don't seem terribly amused at this.
this is what the bit was.
This is
This is
yeah,
what the bit.
it's LOL Random Funny XD, baby. All
I
right. Look,
I
for those of
am.
you who aren't watching, all right, I got the top drip going, okay? I got the full ass Perry the Platypus baseball cap, which is a Perry the Platypus head, and like the duck bill is the brim of the cap. And then there's a fucking ass fedora like on top of the Perry the Platypus head, like full ass. It's great. I got my trusty old fishing vest on, got the emergency bow tie, and I got my biker gloves. I'm
I'm.
tit
It's
the,
not.
the
It's not. It's not 2010. I'm about over LOL so random humor.
the Met
So
Gala, Austin, would pay good money to have my fashion on the runway, is all I'm
I
saying.
doubt that personally. But yes, today we will be doing randomizer 2.
Oh
Two
shit.
two
Too
random
random,
two
too miser.
Izer. Two random two Izer.
Yes. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's the episode name. We're sticking to it.
Yeah, so we did this back in episode 50.
Yes.
Um we basically had I found a WWE Network randomizer online,
Mhm.
and we watched a 2001 episode of WCW Nitro,
This we
which
did.
was
This we did.
about as sad as you think it is.
It was really depressing. Yes, it was.
Yeah, and but who doesn't love Kevin Nash kidnapping David Flair and being the baby face?
Yeah, who doesn't love fucking elevator music renditions of of James Brown?
Hmm.
Um to just really sell home that we didn't bother to pay for the goddamn music rights.
Yeah, there was the civil war of the natural born thrillers that neither of us cared about.
God, what is it with WCW and its fucking civil wars? Jesus.
Yeah, so we are going to do that again today. I've been wanting to do it for a little bit. I would like
Indeed.
to do it every year or so, I think. Would like to do
It's
one of
not
these
bad.
episodes. It's fun. These are a fun episode. I don't have to do any prep work on it. It's great.
Yeah, Austin's really enjoying that part personally.
Yeah, I can just show up here.
God damn. Now Austin knows what it's like for me.
All right. So last time this didn't work, so I can't guarantee it's going to work this time, but I would like to put the randomizer on
On
screen
screen. Yes.
so we can actually see me do this.
Yes.
So, uh, right
I will
now,
like I will give you a real-time update this time cuz
yeah,
like last time I didn't realize you had it up and by the time I realized it was like too late. Oh,
okay.
oh
Do you
shit,
see
buddy.
the thing?
I
Do you
do.
see the
Freda's
thing?
little notebook. Oh,
Great. All right. So we have the
randomizer.
randomizer on screen. All right. So here is how we're gonna do. Well, basically, I just have to you know, um, refresh the page, and a different thing will come up.
Yep.
So a quick reminder to those people who have never who didn't watch our first episode what the rules are. There's not very many,
What are the
but there
rules?
are
What
two in
are
mind.
the rules?
Is number one, no pay-per-views.
Mm,
Because
no
normally
papers.
when we normally do pay-per-views on this show, I personally go through them and do a snip snap super cut that cuts it down to 2 hours for our sake. We don't really have time to record longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in a randomizer, I don't have time to do that, so we're just not going to bother. If they pick a show that is longer than a 3 hour Raw minus commercials, so essentially 2 hours plus show, then
Yeah.
I will replace it with something else.
Okay.
We will re-randomize it. And then no shows that we've already done. I acknowledge that the odds of that is really small. However, it could still theoretically happen. So
We're not so fresh out of ideas that we're already going back to do like throwback episodes. All right,
right.
that ain't our style. Give us a few more years. All right, and then
So
we'll consider it.
if something comes up that I already have on the calendar or we've already done, we're going to re-roll again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then after we roll this, I will make any comments about anything I know about this period of time, and otherwise, we're going to get on with it.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's roll.
All right. All right.
Oh,
We
hey.
What
Well,
a time. All right. So this is close to where we've been before,
but
but
not quite.
not quite there. We will be watching the March 23rd, 2012 episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
God fucking damn it. We can't
cannot
escape this goddamn era, Austin.
All right. So I will quickly look up WrestleMania 28 to make sure where this is in that. Okay. So this
we're
is
going to be like right on the heels of that shit.
right before. All right. So
Oh, wait, are we doing a go home show?
no, thank God,
fuck.
actually, because the back in these days, I will unshare my screen now. But back in those days, the SmackDown before WrestleMania was the shittiest show of the year.
Oh, really?
Because they basically were like, we're not advancing any stories. We're not doing anything that anybody might get hurt. We're just taking a punt and getting to the Mania, baby.
Ooh. You know what? I can understand that mentality. That's shit booking, but I understand the mentality.
Yeah, this was back when SmackDown was taped, so they didn't have as much incentive to actually make it good.
That's fair.
So this is the last meaningful SmackDown, I think, before WrestleMania, the March 23rd episode of SmackDown. At this point in time, Daniel Bryan is still the World Heavyweight Champion.
Hell yeah, brother.
Currently doing a storyline a couple months late in the future.
When he is not.
Right. So we just recently talked about how he's about to lose this belt in 8 seconds to Sheamus.
Yeah, fuck that.
But right now he's still the champion. He's still the dirtbag boyfriend of AJ Lee.
Of course.
What could happen? I think I remember everything here. We have that. We have Cody Rhodes is the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh,
shit. And
Adrenaline?
he's adrenaline in our soul, something, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, yeah, baby.
And he is in a feud with Whale, the Big Show, where he's antagonizing Big Show about the fact that Big Show has never won a match at WrestleMania. Eat shit and die.
Oh, no. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so, and then obviously we have the Team Teddy versus Team SmackDown, Team Johnny versus Team Teddy bullshit. You know, right now, John Laurinaitis is the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and Interim General Manager of Monday Night Raw. And Teddy Long is the General Manager of SmackDown. And so at WrestleMania, they're going to have a 12-man match, and the winning team gets control of both shows.
Yes, and seeing as what we've seen of the 2012 arc as we've been following it, well, that is not a great outcome that I know is coming down the pike. Fuck John Laurinaitis.
Of course. Then right now, the current tag team Divas champion is Beth Phoenix. We've seen her a little bit on the shows before. She is currently kind of feuding with Kelly Holla. The Divas era has never changed, really.
No, not really.
And
Run it back again.
And then the tag team champions are Primo and Epico Colon. They are the cousins of Carlito. And I believe they are the sons of Carlos Colon. Make sure I have that right.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Carlos Colon is a Puerto Rican legend in the wrestling business.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so for a long time, Primo and Epico, who are IRL cousins, they are the Colones. They are in WWE. They're the tag champs. They're with Rosa Mendez as their manager. They're basically, hey, we're Puerto Rican. That's the
nice.
gimmick.
Oh wow,
And
the Hispanic people in WWE playing up a gimmick that's mostly just about how they're fucking Hispanic? No goddamn way.
honestly, this is the least memorable version of this tag team, of which they will have two more versions of themselves that I remember a lot more of.
Uh-oh.
They were Los Matadors, which is
Oh!
what you think it is.
Yeah, I'm, you know what? Disappointed, but not surprised that it doesn't go any deeper than that.
They even had a Mexican mini with them, Masquerita Dorada, as
Ah.
as El Torito, who was the bull. He's the mascot.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
And then after that ended, they became the Shining Stars, where their gimmick was they are con men trying to scam people into going to vacation to Puerto Rico, the shining star of the Caribbean.
Oh my fucking god. Are you kidding me? It got worse? It got more racist?
It was insane a little bit. Uh
SmackDown presents The Locker Room Buys a Timeshare.
Basically, kinda. Uh I have a fond memory of going to the July 4th, 2016 Raw, and they appeared and everyone chanted USA at them because of course
Of
Puerto
course.
Rico is in America, dipshits.
Mhm.
But I'm
So
glad
really,
I
they were
got to.
chanting in support of Primo and Epico.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah.
But I appreciate getting to say that I saw the Shining Stars live.
Oh yeah, that was the real get. That was the real like draw for that episode, right?
Yeah,
Was Austin was having kind of a mid time, and then the fucking shining stars showed up, and like all of a sudden recreating the soy meme.
hell yeah. But right now, this is before all that. Right now, they're just Primo and Epico. They're just
Of course,
dudes.
sure.
They're not even like they
What's
don't
better
even
than
like
this?
play up.
Guys being dudes and selling pushes.
I mean, they're not even like playing up Hispanic stereotypes or anything. They're literally just dudes.
Okay, well that helps a little bit then. But
And they're
also,
the
what the
tag
fuck?
team champions. Great.
Oh yeah, baby. I'm sure that's gonna have some real bangers associated with
Yeah,
it.
sure. I guess in theory, I think Kane and Randy Orton is a Raw feud right now, or maybe it's
Okay.
on SmackDown. I don't really know. This is a very nebulous time for the brand
This is
split.
the
I've talked about
soft
it.
brand split. The the
Right.
the
It's
the one-way brand split.
right. It's the one where this is that period of time where all the Raws are Raw super shows where SmackDown wrestlers can also be on Raw, but a SmackDown is basically SmackDown only people.
Yeah, fuck SmackDown. Who gives a shit about SmackDown? Damn.
Right.
Imagine if people like actually cared about SmackDown. Like, maybe thought some dumb shit like one day it could be the A show. Nah.
Nah,
Who's who's
fuck SmackDown. So like that's happening, and CM Punk is the WWE champion, Santino Marella is the US champion.
yes.
I couldn't tell you like anything else that like I can't tell you if that's relevant information or not
Yeah.
because those are the Raw
I mean, I
belts.
would certainly like to think with a pay-per-view coming up it would be, but
Right. I'm sure we'll get some Raw recaps of the Raw
delightful.
Rock and John Cena stuff, or Undertaker
Oh,
versus
yes.
Triple H stuff happening at this point in time.
Absolutely.
So, but other than that, I got no idea how this SmackDown is going to go. I obviously watched this when it aired, but that was Check's notes 10 years ago.
Ah,
So,
yes. How dare you not have perfect decade-long memory, Austin? Decade and half a year.
right.
126 months. Perfect
Yeah,
amount of time
so
to remember.
what's going to happen?
Mhm.
That's the fun of the randomizer,
It's
baby.
random, baby.
I think there's something to be appreciated in the fact that sometimes nothing much actually happens in a wrestling show. We don't
Oh,
really
absolutely.
do that. We don't intentionally do that on this podcast ever, obviously. But
Well,
you know,
yeah.
sometimes a show just kind of happens.
Look,
And
man, I've learned that as a week to week thing, yeah, that shit just kind of like, yeah, it happens.
yeah, so will this be one of those kind of SmackDowns? We'll find out.
Oh dear.
So, if you want to watch along with us, we are watching on peacocktv.com. You know, that's NBC Universal's streaming service. That's where all of WWE's tape library is now, that the WWE Network has been kind of shuttered in America.
Ripperonied.
Right? It's $4.99 a month with ads, $9.99 a month without ads. But we will be back in the back half to discuss some 2012 SmackDown. And we are back. We have just finished the March 23rd, 2012 episode of SmackDown. Too Izer has delivered. And David, I think 2012 WWE sucks.
What? What? No way. How could you possibly say that? You were the one who's like, oh yeah, nah, dude. I remember this whole thing being fucking great. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with anything we have going on here. I think this era gets a bad rep. So
and then I forgot how many Raw recaps there were.
I love how that's what drives you over to the edge.
Everything else,
extremely stupid bullshit we got.
Everything else is fine, honestly.
Recaps is where Austin.
Too many recaps.
Gentlemen, I have learned that there are two things for which my dear podcast co-host Austin Leach has like no tolerance for in wrestling, and that's work shoots and fucking recaps. Those are the two places he draws the line. Everything else is fair.
Yeah, I didn't really see any problems content-wise tonight for when they actually did content. They just so much recapping. Everything else looks good to me, actually.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
No notes?
No. Do you disagree?
I think if you're looking at it in a vacuum, it's fine mostly. If you're looking at it in like a broader context of WWE and like all the people who work for them and shit, I got a couple of problems with what's going on here, and like a broader level. I think there are a couple things potentially that could be punched up. Aside from the fact this era's goofy as shit in the year of our Lord 2012.
Yeah, I love it.
Man, the PG era just really...
It was something.
It was a time, man. You know what? I understand the limitations on the medium. Oh my god, it's just so fucking dumb.
Sure.
And look, it can be dumb fun. And some of this stuff was fun, but also like half the time I'm just sitting there like, what is happening? What? I love how this just also become just an accidental like kind of 6 episode prequel to our 2012 our current 2012 arc. How the fuck? The serendipity here is insane.
Yeah, it's just the chance to get to see more of 2012 than we're looking at in the 2012 arc, because
it literally felt like we were doing another episode of the 2012 arc, and next week we're going to be back in the fucking 2012 arc.
We are.
I can't escape. Why is it always this goddamn era? Oh my god.
Because I am super nostalgic for late PG era WWE, and so I keep making us want to come back to it for this show.
And the worst part is this motherfucker, people, he's brainwashed me, okay? I'm being mentally tormented, conditioned, brainwashed, because I asked for more while we were watching. Because I saw, oh shit, this is like Taker versus Triple H 2 is coming up at WrestleMania, and I'm like, fuck, I want to see us do that, but that's still in this dumbass goofy era. I'm asking for more. What have you done to me, you piece of shit?
God
damn.
All right. So I just made a note. Let's get off with the show. I made a note. Green Day intro. Let's go.
Yeah. You
one
know
of
what? It ain't bad. I'll give it to you. The Green Day
one
intro is
of
a pretty fucking solid intro.
one of my earliest introductions to Green Day. I'll be honest.
It's really entertaining listening to Austin um recite along with the opening scroll. That man has this shit down to a T.
Mm-hmm.
How many times? I guess you've watched a lot, but like, holy shit.
I mean, they aired it twice a week for like 2 years.
That's fair.
I think they changed to Then Now Forever, which they still do today when they switched over to the network. So
but they still have a lot of the same shit for Then Now Forever, right? Like they still have a lot of like the same like pop lines and shit.
Same clip. No, they don't. They use similar clips, but they only say Then, Now, Forever.
Okay.
Together.
I see. Epitome of sports entertainers or whatever. Anyway.
The epitome of sports entertainers. Right. So we open the show with announcing the main event of the evening: CM Punk, the WWE champion, and Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, the World Heavyweight Champion, and The Miz.
And we're opening announcing that. So like, hey, look, a main event that wasn't put together in the fuck middle of the show. That's new.
That's weird.
That's weird. Why are we practicing good booking standards here? What the fuck?
Yeah. I told you 2012 had its positives. Teddy Long was an excellent booker.
Yeah, well, Teddy Long is about to be just directly under the heel of John Laurinaitis for an indefinite period of time. So, like, I don't know, man. It's not going to last for too much longer.
Speaking of things not going to last too much longer, World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan is out.
And his relationship with AJ Lee.
Yeah, they come out to open the show. To cut the classic opening show promo.
Absolutely. That we always must do because why the fuck start with the match? What kind of hack are you? Wrestling at my wrestling show? Get out of here.
Oh, there was so much wrestling on this show. There were 7 matches.
There were 7 fucking matches on this show, which is wild.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I took extensive notes here because this promo was absolutely insane to me.
Ungoddamn hinged, dude.
All right, so we open. Daniel Bryan's like, the first thing I would like to say is yes. And so Daniel Bryan mentions that he could talk about himself all day long, all night, but he wants AJ to tell everyone here what it's like to be in love with the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, and AJ's like, kind of like, is she shy for? Oh no. AJ starts being like, oh, first of all, I just want to say I have a match coming up tonight, and Daniel's gonna be in my corner, and I'm just so excited. And Daniel Bryan goes, answer the fucking question, bitch.
Yeah, no, AJ Lee dared to not answer the question and talk about
AJ Lee dared to talk about anyone other than Daniel Bryan. She dared to talk about herself. So obviously, fuck her.
All right, so I believe I wrote down this whole quote, but here's what she opens with. In a word, it's heaven.
Heaven.
Nobody knows this, but Daniel caresses me. And he has the softest
lips.
And sometimes we spoon.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh, all collectively, all of the horny dads in the audience had their dicks explode at the thought of AJ Lee and Daniel Bryan spooning. The pop that got was disproportionate, I believe, and I don't think it was. I think it was rather in earnest too. I popped big for it because I thought it was hysterical, and I'm like, oh my god, no! On my the crowd like actually kind of popped for it, and it's like, are you all okay? I hope you all have fulfilling sex lives.
I mean, I want to make a joke about wrestling fans right now.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so that's how she opens. And AJ then calls him Danny.
Yeah.
And Daniel's like, he stops her and he tells her, like, hey, don't call me that. My name is Daniel.
Yep.
And so AJ is like, Daniel is courageous and brave, and as a vegan, his body is a temple.
Oh
His
man.
mind and spirit are pure.
Mm.
And that's why I really enjoy cuddling.
But that's not enough for. Yeah, I love how that's the takeaway. It's like there's all this stuff about him. I enjoy cuddling Daniel Bryan, not being in a relationship with Daniel Bryan. That's just why I enjoy cuddling him.
AJ Lee revealing that she's much more physically interested in this relationship than emotionally interested in this relationship, and perhaps that is a sign. That was a sign.
You know what? Fair. But this is not enough for Daniel Bryan as he leans into to AJ's ear to once again to whisper to her to tell all the nice people that he has a huge dick or something.
Right. Well, sure. She's like, well, that's kind of personal, Daniel. And he's like, well, you know, it's true, you know.
Poor AJ. Dude, AJ, like, okay, so we're getting like AJ's crazy in the actual 2012 arc as we're following it. Here, like, poor AJ, she seems like so cute. And like they're clearly trying to do some like weird virgin whore dynamic with her, which is a big yikes. But God, this girl is like so cute. She's just kind of standing there and she's just happy to be here. And Daniel Bryan's over here being like, tell them how fucking large my cock is.
But in a PG way, which is why she says Daniel Bryan is a great lover. Which she says a little sheepishly. She was obviously did not really want to say that.
Yeah.
And at WrestleMania, he's going to make that big Irish brute tap out.
Yeah, okay.
And after she's done saying how awesome Daniel Bryan is, she leans in to kiss him on the cheek. And Daniel Bryan immediately steps forward away from her and is like, let's hear it for AJ.
Yeah.
And better yet, let's hear it for me.
You know, I feel like Daniel Bryan, it might have been a mite more expensive, but it would have been a lot less like emotionally damaging to just hire a prostitute to be your cheerleader for a few months. I feel like you would have gotten the same like emotional and practical mileage out of that with none of the bullshit fallout that's about to befall you in a few months as we are following in the real arc. Holy shit.
No. I find that watching back on this relationship, obviously, like you do feel bad for AJ.
Yeah.
But like also because it's like cartoony PG WWE, it's honestly more funny than it is like concerning.
Yes. Yeah,
like
okay.
Like he's clearly domineering over her, and that's shitty. But it's again in this like cartoony, funny way where she goes for the kiss and he just steps right on away from her.
Dude, like okay, it's funny, but it also has like slight twinges of fucking Dennis from Always Sunny being like, because of the implication. The way he like the way the minute she says anything wrong, he's like his eyes like widen, he like fucking leans into her. He's like, you listen here, you don't gotta say that. Like
right,
it looks
but we can't make him actually abusive.
We're just gonna imply it.
Right. There's a lot of implications about how much worse this relationship could be and just isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. It got big. We're not gonna go there vibes. It's got big. Use your imagination vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
So all this to say, I have now seen like a full glimpse of like the AJ and Daniel Bryan relationship in full swing. Honestly, feel like adds a nice little bit of extra context for the actual arc as we're following it. And yeah. It shockingly, Daniel Bryan's kind of a piece of shit. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. So after all that, Sheamus comes out. Apparently, David noticed that Sheamus's shirt has Great White on it because that was his nickname at the time. The Great White.
The Great White. Uh-oh. I mean, I remarked to Austin, maybe that's why he didn't like Detroit too much. Yeah.
Anyway, Sheamus comes out and says that he threw up in his mouth a little bit, having to hear all that. And he questions AJ about her calling Daniel brave and courageous. And he's like, you know what I think? I think that Daniel is a sniveling little coward.
I've watched a lot of movies about Daniel Bryan. You know, the Lion in the Wizard of Oz. The
This is your entire context for Sheamus now, because the first time you ever saw Sheamus was him cutting a promo about
No,
movies
that's not the
and
first
how
time I saw.
floor.
The first time I saw him live, and it was the first time I saw him have a character outside of "I'm Irish." Oh, actually, no, that's not even right. The character then was still "I'm Irish," but it was just also "I'm Irish and I'm an asshole about it." So the back when I was in Ireland, I watched a lot of movies thing is what I'm going to carry forward forever because nothing will ever be. I watched a lot of movies about Detroit, RoboCop, Beverly Hills Cop, 8 Mile. Man, James just watches a lot of movies, okay, and he gets a lot of perspective from the world about it. I've watched a whole TV show about you, American Dragon Jake Long, and I have to say,
American Dragon, American Dragon.
and I have to say, I'm none too impressed with your ability to transmogrify into a giant lizard. I'm going to kick your ass at WrestleMania.
I really thought it was weird how halfway through the show you completely changed your animation style.
I don't rather like it when things switch over to Flash. It looks sloppy. Sheamus has got very 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 hardline opinions on the world of animation. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, big real hot takes about animation is that Sheamus guy.
He's just a fan of Jedi. God. Anyway.
Yes, and then he comments on the soft lips thing, and I'm like, I'll be honest, I expected this. Where he's kind of like, oh, the softest lips, I'm not even gonna touch on that.
Yeah, apparently
vaguely
Sheamus,
homophobic.
See, you could read it that way. I read it as Sheamus has personally kissed Daniel Bryan and personally knows that his lips are not, in fact, super soft. I think this might be a bitter X thing going on right here. Let me tell you.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
That would be great.
I know better.
Austin, I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to make this era better, okay? I'm following one of Claire's ultimate rules of wrestling. Make it gayer.
And I appreciate the effort, but I have to see it for how it is.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Also, shout out to the fact that we cut to the crowd because Sheamus says something that I assume is some kind of like catchphrase or some shit, and the crowd's like chanting it along with him. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember what I do is he like mentions the Danny thing again, and Daniel's like, "My name is Daniel."
It might have been Danny.
And then the crowd starts chanting Danny.
Yeah, Sheamus calls him Danny. He's like, "Oh, Danny boy," and the crowd starts chanting Danny. And it cut to like a random shot of the crowd, and there was like this one kid who was super into the Danny chant, and next to him was his dad, who looked bored out of his goddamn mind, just looking over at his son like, "Really, this is what you're into?" Okay.
Welcome to the WWE family audience.
Live footage of my girlfriend watching wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
Filled with small children and their severely disinterested parents.
True, fucking true.
Who are like, I can't believe I paid $100 to come to this show.
Yeah, no, dude looked so goddamn bored. It was kind of hilarious.
Right, so he's like, well, Danny boy, I can call you Danny boy, right? And, oh, Danny boy.
Yeah, he disappointingly does not start singing. I desperately want to hear Sheamus's skills vocally, but whatever.
Yeah, we get the Danny Boy chants, and then at the end of it all, he's like, seriously though, at WrestleMania, I'm gonna kick your teeth down your throat.
And in that moment, Daniel Bryan is complaining that, and he's like, maybe I could work that into being my own motto at some point.
He's like,
it could use a bit of tweaking, make it a little more pithy, but I could make something like that work. Sheamus is the Scott Hall to Daniel Bryan's character development, you know.
And how interesting that would be.
Absolutely.
Then we get brought to you the first Raw rebound of the night. Brought to you by
20.
Clear 4G, whatever the fuck that is.
The most confusing ad.
Maybe if the ad had sound on, I would have got it, but it didn't. So I just have to see a dude with like a lower back.
Oh no, I heard the sound on the ad, and the sound on the ad was. The sound of the ad was like, it was just something about like, I couldn't even tell. It was like a board meeting, but like one dude was shirtless and another dude didn't have pants on, just had his boxers. And it was like clear, what the internet should be. And I'm like, how the fuck is the internet supposed to be clear?
Yeah, I don't get it, but you know, Clear 4G, obviously a company we've all heard of in 2020.
Absolutely. Hey man, this very advertisement right here is what launched their illustrious career.
Right. So the Raw rebound is of David Otunga versus Santino from Raw. Otunga is gonna go in, but then gosh, now I'm trying to remember everything that actually happened here. I watched this fucking twice. I remember. David Otunga wins. And then he gets in the ring, and Johnny Ace is there, and they're making fun of Santino. And then Teddy Long runs in the ring, smacks Johnny in the face, and hightails it out of there.
Dude, the Teddy Johnny feud is heating the fuck up tonight.
Now it's kind of, because it's a battle between 6 mid-carders and 6 other mid-carders, it kind of dominates the entire show, narratively speaking.
Oops, all mid-card.
Yeah. So the first match of many of this result tonight is R-Truth versus Mark Henry. And this is R-Truth because he's a babyface is on Team Teddy, and Mark Henry because he's a heel is on Team Johnny. I'll go ahead and make note for people here is that the 6v6 teams are not currently, as of the start of this show, set up. Yeah. So far for Team Teddy, it is Kofi Kingston, Santino Marella,
as the captain, I should add.
Santino is the captain, yes.
Yes.
And R-Truth. And on John Laurinaitis' side, it is Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and David Otunga.
Absolutely. We still got so many more people to add to this thing, baby. But we're just running all the fucking like singles exhibition matches on this as we possibly can.
It's all about building momentum, David.
Oh my god. If I heard momentum one more time, I would have momentumed my fist through my fucking laptop.
I told you, this is something I will cop to as an issue in WWE now, and forever, is using the term momentum as a way to put fake stakes on a match that doesn't have any. It is a crutch they use again and again and again.
It's such a fucking meaningless term. Like, I get it in like a, you know, commentating sense, saying the word like, oh, you know, this is he's got some momentum going for him. But like trying to like make legitimate stakes out of it is like, I don't fucking know. Like it's like the equivalent of like having Money in the Bank be like being able to cash in Money in the Bank for the fucking 24/7 belt.
Mm-hmm. Like,
it's
why?
Just meaningless.
Yeah. So, but this match here, I made a note of this. Is like after R-Truth's entrance, I really love the way the camera work for Mark Henry's entrance, because they basically had a long shot into the ring, and then Mark Henry's music hits, and then they back up to Mark Henry coming in from the back. And I thought that was really cool looking. And also, I made note that R-Truth looked scared when Mark Henry's music hit.
Dude, I mean, to be fair, R-Truth is scared of everything. I would have been more confused if he didn't have Mark Henry-ophobia. But yeah, fucking Truth is here, and he's not doing his like obnoxious Summer of Punk bullshit where he and Miz get to like make the entire locker room walk out. He is lovable babyface now. The transformation is complete. R-Truth is at the peak of his character that he has not come down from since.
Yeah, the awesome Truth, after terrorizing the entire locker room incredibly, got their asses handed to them by John Cena and The Rock at Survivor Series, and Waka Waka never to be seen again.
Hell yeah, brother! Now we just get to cheer on the funny man, saying funny things, and build heat off of like shitting on little Jimmy.
Yep. The match is extremely one-sided, as you'd probably expect.
I did expect that.
Mark Henry kind of just beats Truth's ass.
Yeah, I mean, Truth gives a semblance of a decent performance when he can, and like they do talk, they do give him like a bit of a like hope spot at some point or other, but yeah, it doesn't last too terribly long, unfortunately.
Yeah, I noted that about midway through the match, Mark Henry throws R-Truth out of the ring and then yells at the ref, "I'm taking out the trash!"
Taking out the... I didn't even notice that.
Like, one of Mark Henry's, like, I think kind of most underrated qualities in his Hall of Pain peak Mark Henry run is dude was a trash-talking expert. At this point
Mark Henry's like really good on mic, just broadly. I've noticed that about him, and I really like. I mean, fuck, this man was able to get the phrase "It's time for the main event" insanely over. Like he can just kind of work his magic with his words. I think it's an underappreciated aspect about him.
Yeah. During the match, Michael Cole, in hyping up John Laurinaitis' team, mentions that three of the four members of the team are former world champions, which is an indictment on the world championship.
True.
For those of you who don't know, there's the Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler, and Jack Swagger are the three former world champions. One of them was good.
Dude, fucking Jack Swagger being an honest-to-goodness world championship. Oh, no.
And Dolph Ziggler, this is before Ziggler had actually had a sort of kind of legit run with the world title in 2013. At this point in time, his only world title run had been one episode of SmackDown. Vicky Guerrero, who was his on-screen girlfriend at the time, stripped Edge of the title, gave it to Ziggler, and then 20 minutes later, Edge got a rematch and beat Ziggler for the title.
Oh, no.
This is what makes Ziggler a former world champion in 2012.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that someone had a shorter reign than Rey Mysterio. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not... Obviously, it's most people are like, that was dumb.
Yeah, no, you don't fucking...
And it's kind of indicative of where the World Heavyweight title was in 2012. It's... The World Heavyweight title has already fallen to, like, B-level title here. Like, sure, important stuff happens with it, but it's always not the WWE title. The Dolph Zigglers and Jack Swaggers of the world, they're not winning the WWE title. They can win the world title, and they can act like they're a former world champion. But
indeed,
they're not WWE champion material.
They again, the pattern of not giving a shit about SmackDown just keeps on rolling. And it makes it even fucking funnier that SmackDown these days is effectively the A show. And it was once the who gives a shit, why are we even running this, other than people just need extra goddamn time on TV to push their stories show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God. Well, hey,
Thank,
that's why they
thank
have
you.
Daniel Bryan on the title to actually elevate it, and then he's gonna lose it at Mania in 8 seconds.
Thanks Fox for paying WWE $1 billion. So now they're like, oh shit, SmackDown's on network TV. We need to make it important now.
I guess. Fuck.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Anyway, the match here ends where R-Truth goes for a crossbody off the top rope, gets caught, and Mark Henry hits him with the world's strongest slam.
Yep.
For the
That's
win.
Done. Something I do want to shout out is on commentary. Commentary was, God, this commentary table is
oh boy. It
nuts.
is heel Michael Cole, Booker T, and Josh Matthews.
Josh Matthews is kind of like the straight up color comment or the straight up analyst. Michael Cole is the heel color commentator. Booker T is ostensibly a face commentator, but his allegiance seems to kind of like waffle based on whatever the fuck he's feeling in the moment.
Yeah, he's got his own personal Fave 5, you know how it is.
You know what? Fair enough. No, but fucking Booker, when Mark Henry showed up, Booker was like personally offended that Mark Henry was competing for Team Johnny and not Team Teddy. He's like, oh man, I can't believe you did this. Why would you do this, man? Why would you why in the hell would you ever think that Johnny is a better manager than Teddy Long? How could you do this? And I just kind of had to take note that like Booker T getting deeply offended at a turncoat from his brand, deciding that like another GM style better. Wonder if this will be a pattern for him as an analyst for the rest of his career. Certainly don't see him doing anything like that today. No, sir.
Nah, all right.
No. Yeah, but yeah, R-Truth loses. Boo. Objectively incorrect.
Yeah. All right, so then the momentum is being gained by Team Johnny. Next up, we get the Hall of Fame video package. Now, at this point in time, and it's something I kind of wish they still did. They kind of just nowadays WWE uses social media and social media trends to kind of like push the WWE Hall of Fame stuff. And like I get it, but it was a lot more fun when back in the day they would they would put together these video packages, and like every week on Raw or SmackDown, you'd get a new video package for a new announced member of the Hall of Fame. It was like a build up to Mania thing.
Yeah.
That was really that was really fun. And they had one of those for tonight for the mighty Yokozuna.
Oh my God. Okay. I need to share though how the fuck this video package started. Because it was essentially like, oh God, however many years ago, a new force invaded the shores of WWE. And it's like, oh man, somewhere from beyond the grave, Gorilla Monsoon was like writing this script about what a Pearl Harbor job that was. Holy boy.
It is kind of a shame that Gorilla Monsoon had gotten out of the commentary game by the time that Yokozuna started in WWE, because it feels like he was just dying to say that Yokozuna, a Japanese wrestler, Pearl Harbor somebody.
Quote. Yeah. So that was kind of yikes, but honestly, overall, this that was a pretty cool hype video for him. I also I had a couple time is a flat circle moments in this. One was Booker T like just shitting on someone who turned coat from his brand and like being really personally offended about it. Another was JR doing like really sedate hype package interviews that cuts in and out of like really intense music, and it's like, where have I seen this recently?
He's gonna stick to doing that the rest of his career.
I think the Yokozuna would present a really good. He was truly a legend in the business, and
in this business here.
In this business, and I'm just really proud of him. Literally, he has like he has his like sedate hype package tone that he does, and I love it so much.
Yeah, they make note of I mean, it is admittedly Yokozuna's biggest career achievement. Beating Bret Hart for the WWE title at WrestleMania 9. They do not mention anything about what happened immediately afterwards.
Nope, not a word.
Where Hulk Hogan cashed in his Money in the Bank contract or whatever, and got a title match and won. Same night.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.
Yeah, no. Why
Why
would we actually let a person of color hold up? You know what? Maybe this is why Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns' fucking title reign has lasted for goddamn ever, and that is to make up for every other goddamn Samoan who got screwed out of any kind of respectable belt run before him.
He's doing it for all of his family, including
Truly.
Yokozuna.
I do fucking love that Rikishi was one of the people who they interviewed for this hype package, aka the other big fat man from WWE who used ass-based offense.
Hey man, the Anoa'i's know what to do it.
Dude, the Anoa'i's like big butts and they cannot lie. I don't know what to tell
Absolutely.
you. Hell yeah.
So Yokozuna's going in the Hall of Fame in 2012 alongside the Four Horsemen, Ron Simmons, Edge, Mil Mascaras, and Mike Tyson.
That sure is a class of wrestlers. I don't even know who the fuck Mil Mascaras is.
Mil Mascaras is one of the legends of Lucha Libre.
Why the hell is he getting a WWE Hall of Fame?
Because occasionally WWE like to throw in guys who didn't really work for them, but
what?
were important
WWE acknowledging that other companies exist?
Yeah, they would do this for the Hall of Fame sometimes. I believe the only time I remember Mil Mascaras appearing in WWE was in the Royal Rumble, and I want to say either 1995 or 1996. Famously, Mil Mascaras didn't like to job. And so, to avoid having to do that in the Royal Rumble, he jumped over the top rope to do a diving spot to the outside, voluntarily eliminating himself from the match.
What the fuck? Was that to eliminate anyone else? Was that to attack anyone, or did he just?
I mean, to attack someone on the outside, yeah, but they were already eliminated because they were on the outside. He just jumped and did it because no job. So how about that?
And Mil Mascaras said, "Yeah, that's not gonna work for me, hermano.
Somebody actually throwing me out of this match? That's not gonna work for me, brother."
Oh my god, no. And here I thought Rush and Penta were the only luchadors crazy enough to eliminate themselves from a fucking rumble like that.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Oh
but
my God.
that's Mil Mascaras' only time in the WWE as far as I'm aware. This was more about he was a major figure in the industry. Let's give him his flowers.
Yeah. That's honestly unironically nice of them to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're very cool.
Yeah. And so then after that, we get Raw Recap number 2, where Zack Ryder is having a rally outside the arena, I guess. And
yeah, I want to know how the fuck they got people for that, because they had a decent sized crowd. Did they just find all the fucking Zack Ryder simps in the audience and be like, "Hey, come with us"? Did they goddamn pay people to do this?
I feel like they had to have paid people or set up something to get people to show up.
I guess, but I mean, they were all super into it, but they did also just kind of legitimately look like normies. So I don't know if they were paid crowd fillers or what, but
yeah. But he's basically got a megaphone and he is begging and pleading for Teddy Long to put him on Team Teddy at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's pulling hard to be on Team Teddy for some reason.
Because he's a babyface, so he wants to be on Team Teddy.
See, it kind of seems to be a little more he just wants to be on WrestleMania and he figures this is his best shot.
That too.
We're not going to think about that part too.
Yeah, that too. I mean, also John Laurinaitis has in storyline screwed him over at this point.
Oh, so, okay. That's actually a pretty good justification.
Even beyond just like he's a good guy, he wants the good guy GM. There is that.
Oh,
so
there's no vendetta.
you know,
Okay, weirdly layered Jack Ryder story. I can get behind it.
Yeah. So he's riling up the crowd, getting them to chant woo woo woo. We want Ryder. We want Ryder. And I feel like it's hard. I don't know how you feel about Zack Ryder at this point in time, but to me it feels like it would be hard to really get how like big Ryder was in 2011 and 2012. And like
I can tell he's huge and he seems very fun. Like if I were to compare him to like a more contemporary example that I'm familiar with, it almost feels like a similar type of love that like Orange Cassidy gets, of like, this is our like dude bro babyface character and we just kind of love that he has good vibes and that it feels like we can like hang out with him while we watch him wrestle. That's kind of the best comparison I can give. Like, he's just kind of like the cool guy that everyone wants to be friends with sort of character.
That's part of it. Another is it like he kind of has the predates BTE with the true Long Island story, where he basically did skits every week on YouTube, shitting on his booking and trying to get like he has his most famous skit. It's hard to find these videos now because they're ancient, and WWE eventually took over the show and ruined it.
Of course they did.
But like there's one famous video of him like trying to climb over a fence, and he's like, I'm getting over. Oh
my god. Also, wait, bold of you to insinuate that his like YouTube skit series was the real BTE precursor, when we all know the true BTE precursor was the lunchtime suicide videos.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. What was I thinking?
Far more influential in this industry, Austin, in the wrestling vlog / comedy skit industry. Let me tell you.
You're right. But it's so weird because like Zack Ryder was largely not pushed by WWE because they didn't see anything in him at all. Yeah. And yet, like, he gets a token win of the US title for a month, and then he never wins anything ever again. And yet, every time he would come out to the crowd, people would go crazy for him and do the woo, woo, woo. Like, he was an absolute jobber that accomplished nothing. And yet people still adored the guy to the very last day he was in WWE. And I don't know how easy that is to like get it when you weren't there.
I mean, you know? I see how the crowd pops for him, and I do like because I know like obviously where the fuck he's at now. What just out of curiosity, like what did that exact career trajectory look like after he left?
After he left WWE?
Yeah.
He fiddled around in Impact for a hot sec.
Oh.
He had an extremely short stint in AEW. Yeah. And then basically he kind of got to GCW, started playing into the idea that he was the king of the deathmatch peeps, and started doing WWE isms unironically, and the crowd was like, actually, fuck this guy forever.
That's really funny that he kind of went just kind of like, because why not? He went from being like WWE's favorite goofball for a few years to being despised for just leaning into being a WWE guy. Like, gotta give it to this dude. He clearly knows how the fuck to evoke a reaction from an audience one way or another.
And like Zack Ryder, I think part of why he might have stayed over so much is that he kind of became like the rallying point behind the idea that the brass ring is bullshit, right? So, and what I mean by that is like in 2014, Vince McMahon went on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, and he was and Vince was straight up like, a lot of these younger wrestlers just need to grab the brass ring. And the idea that like people talk on the internet talk about these, why are these new guys not, where are the new stars? And Vince puts the onus on the wrestlers just aren't trying hard enough.
Because of course he does. Vince could never take responsibility for anything in his life.
And like even before we had a name to the idea of the brass ring, it was kind of understood, this idea that like the WWE machine is going to push who they're going to push. And if you're not someone they're going to push, fuck you. You got no hope. And Zack Ryder making an internet show and getting himself over completely outside of the WWE's intended machine. Like, he was barely used on television. When he was featured, he wasn't winning or anything, but he got super over because organically, because he put out this YouTube show that resonated with people. And
it's kind of the ultimate defeater to the brass ring ideology.
Yeah, is nobody grabbed at the brass ring harder than Zack Ryder did. And WWE's answer was to not even try. Like, I understand people's arguments about Zack Ryder that like he probably couldn't have sustained that if you actually gave him a top level push. But I don't know, maybe strike while the iron's hot anyway.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway, that's that ramble of that. But Zack Ryder, he is wanting to be on Team Teddy, and I thought this was hilarious structurally speaking. But like, we cut then to Kofi, Santino, Teddy, Oksana, and Zack all standing in Teddy's office watching the thing we just watched.
Yeah, and like, okay, this is where shit gets bonkers because so they're watching and they're like, oh, this interesting. Kofi's kind of into it, Santino's kind of into it, Teddy's into it, and fucking Ryder shows up in Teddy's office and he's like, hey boss, wasn't that great? Wasn't that cool? Can I have any entertainment now? Please. And Teddy's like, that was pretty cool, but still no, fuck you, go to hell and die. And
yeah,
Zach's like, but boss, that's not all. I can do more for you. He brings in fucking Hornswoggle, who's like waving a flag with Teddy Long's face on it. And he's like, yeah, see, we got a mascot now and everything, because God forbid that Hornswoggle actually gets any kind of like, respect as a wrestler in the company. God forbid. So yeah, we got a mascot now. And Teddy's like, oh man, a flag with my face and a mascot. Player, that's pretty good. But nah, still fuck you. I can't have. I need more. I need bigger. And I'm like, my man, this man held a goddamn rally completely organically. And he custom made a flag with your face on it. Got Hornswoggle to whore himself out as the mascot. The fuck else could you want? And Zack Ryder's like, oh, you want big? I got big. Come on in, dude. And walks the goddamn Great Khali. And that is what convinces Teddy Long to give Zack Ryder a chance.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So the reason that Teddy says that he's not going to give him a chance is because he is concerned about Zack's relationship with Eve Torres. Now, we have seen the future on this podcast, so we know this isn't going to end well for Zack. But
I could tell that from tonight's episode.
Sure. But so Eve Torres is Zack Ryder's on-screen girlfriend, and basically this is already post-Hosky. So in Zack Ryder's feud, in John Cena's feud with Kane, John Cena and Zack Ryder are best friends. And over the course of this feud, at one point during that whole nonsense, at one point, Cena kisses Eve in front of Zack, and Cena turns it around that Eve is a hoe and it's all her fault, actually.
Okay.
And then Zack takes her back anyway. So everyone has this attitude of like, dude, your girlfriend, you cannot trust her. Why are you still with her? And he's like, It's fine, bro. Our relationship
We're essentially
is great.
running a proto version of the AJ Lee Daniel Bryan breakup with Zack Ryder and Eve Torres.
A little bit. It's kind of the roles reversed. But yeah.
So they're just like, why it's so good.
So Teddy doesn't trust that Eve Torres won't be a problem, which since we're not watching WrestleMania 28, I'll go ahead and tell you she is. Team Johnny wins the match because Eve Torres turns on Zack Ryder and kicks him in the balls.
What a shocker.
So completely correct. So yes, then Zack Ryder tries to get Hornswoggle as a mascot, and then he brings in Great Khali, and Khali's in the right, and Zack Ryder's gear, and he's like, woo, woo, woo. You know it.
And that's what convinces Teddy Long to be like, all right, actually, you know what, player, never mind. All of my worries about this whole Eve Torres thing completely gone. You're fine. You got the Great Khali, the biggest draw in all the goddamn company.
Yeah, you're fucking right.
Yeah,
you're right. And then everyone goes woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, we're all celebrating. Woo, 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 woo.
Hooray! All right, match 2 of the night. AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. It took me a while to figure out which was which.
I actually knew because I paid attention to commentary. Hey.
I guess that's what I get, huh?
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan is in AJ Lee's corner and is giving her advice pretty much the whole time.
Okay, well, advice is pretty strong language to use. What he's really doing is banging on the ringside and just shouting commands at her, and apparently that makes him a good wrestling coach.
I mean, it works for all the other managers.
works really well for -1.
Yeah, that's true. I know Brian gives AJ a pre-match kiss. We're all setting up for the WrestleMania 28 fiasco.
It's called planning and payoff, boys.
Absolutely.
If you paid attention, sometimes you learn something, from the expert storyteller, Vincent K. McMahon.
Absolutely, he is clearly. So AJ and Brie wrestle. Brie dominates most of the match. It's kind of played that Brie is the more experienced and better wrestler of the two, which feels weird. All right.
Sure.
I noted Daniel Bryan's extremely helpful advice. Come on, AJ, you better not tap.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, advice in extremely heavy air.
And Booker T absolutely reads that as like something a lot worse than it probably is. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean she better not tap?
I mean, I'm kind of with Booker on this one. DB, what happens if she does tap? Does she get in trouble with you? What does that trouble entail? And why do I feel like it could get you arrested on a few domestic abuse charges?
Well, it doesn't matter because AJ gets Brie. They tried to call it a modified label lock, which is because that's Daniel's move, but it's just an arm bar. It's not anywhere close to a label lock, really. Ooh. And then Nikki Bella jumps on the apron to try to interfere. And Daniel Bryan walks over to argue at her. And then AJ lets go of the hold and is like, what's going on here? What are you doing? And then Brie tries to attack AJ from behind, and AJ manages to duck, and Brie hits Nikki instead, and AJ rolls her up for the dub.
Yes, Daniel Bryan's kayfabe girlfriend, aka CM Punk's future shoot wife, rolls up Daniel Bryan's future shoot wife for the dub.
And so Daniel and AJ walk up the ramp, Daniel talking her ear off.
And meanwhile, everyone's like, that looks pretty sussy. And Michael Cole's just like, I just love the give and take of this relationship.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck, Cole?
Michael Cole trying to convince us that AJ and Daniel is the healthiest of relationships.
Dude, he ships them a little too hard. He's like that friend who's like, no, you can't break up with him. You just need to give him another chance.
This is a real Brian in leather pants situation.
Brian in leather pants situation?
Well, you ever heard of the trope Draco in leather pants?
Oh, fuck, yes.
It's
Yes,
like
okay,
that.
got it.
It's Brian.
Jesus Christ. I want to fit in a Ron the Death Eater joke here, but I'm not entirely sure how
There's
to.
not a Ron the Death Eater in this situation, I don't think.
Not in this situation, no.
Anyway, after the match, for some reason, Nikki Bella gets a microphone and is like, maybe Brie, you should have taken my advice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Just picking up on, like, the verbiage used by Daniel Bryan to just threaten AJ Lee and, like, berate her.
Anyway, I mean, the Bellas are heels. So
Well, apparently one of them
kind
is
of
Team
mostly.
Teddy. So there's, like,
Right.
some discord among the Bellas, and one of them could, if you squint, kind of be considered face, I guess.
Yeah, so Nikki Bella says to the audience that, despite the fact they are twins, they actually disagree about a lot.
Yeah.
And for example, Brie will be rooting for Team Johnny at WrestleMania. Gasp. And Nikki will be rooting for Team Teddy. Cheers. And then Nikki starts doing the cheerleading spell chants for Teddy.
Which was so painfully awkward. I thought there had to have been some, like, interruption that was supposed to happen in the middle of it. Or it was supposed to be a meme on her part. Nope, they just play it straight. And that's the segment.
Give me a T. Give me an E. Give me a D. Give me another D. Give me a Y. And,
I'm almost surprised they didn't make any major jokes about giving Brie Bella or Nikki Bella 2 Ds.
No, that Nikki will be getting the 2 Ds later. Because that's
okay.
Because
because of the boob job. Yeah. All right. Never mind. Yeah, it's fine. It's like you had me worried there for a second. I'm like,
I really thought that my joke payoff. I really thought I nailed that one, but all right. I was
going with the other genitalia.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that at all.
Well, glad we're on the same page now. Anyway, yeah, even Michael Cole's like, what the fuck was that?
No, he literally goes, what is going on? And I can't believe that this show is making me agree with Michael Cole.
Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a good point.
Yep. All right. Another Raw recap. Let's go.
Number 3, baby.
Where I think R-Truth is wrestling Jack Swagger, or I think he's wrestling Ziggler. And Kofi and Jack Swagger start brawling on the outside. And then, I don't know, I forget who wins. But at some point, but then Oksana, who I guess I haven't talked about her. She's another one of the divas, obviously. Yes. She is vaguely European. Let me remember. Let me look up she's Lithuanian. Got it. Anywho, right now her gimmick is that Teddy Long is clearly attracted to her, and she's kind of into it, I guess, willing to take advantage of the opportunity to, cozy up with the boss. Sure.
Yes.
She's more into it. He's more into it than she is my point.
I mean, I can see why. She's probably decently younger than him.
Very much so. She's gonna dump him. She's gonna dump him for debuting Antonio Cesaro in a couple months.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Oh my god. Well, I guess it is just about fucking We the People time.
No, this is Rugby Boy. This is Rugby Boy Cesaro.
This is Rugby Boy Cesaro?
Yes, Cesaro debuted in the company by being an ex-rugby player who was too violent, so he got kicked out of rugby.
Oh, wait, yeah, I remember about that now. Okay, I forgot that was him.
Yep.
Fuck. So goddamn dumb.
Anyway, but right now, Oksana is Team Teddy, and she gets into a fight with Vicky. Great.
Of course. Why not? Yeah. Oh, then, Vicky's here. The Vicky that I know and love. Oh.
And then, excuse me!
Baby.
Vicky is here to get booed out of the building.
As always. God, I love her.
Yep, so she introduces Jack Swagger. This is so early Jack Swagger. He's coming out to the Rage Against the Machine cover band.
Couldn't quite afford those rights. Sorry there, Jack.
So it is Jack Swagger versus Zack Ryder in the third match of the night.
Yep. Just got to get more of those one-on-one Team Teddy, Team Johnny matches going. Just momentum or some shit.
Just keep it going.
I'll be honest. Rolling it back, motherfucker.
Don't remember much of the match, to be honest. It was certainly a WWE TV match.
Oh yes, it was. I mean, it was fine. It was serviceable. Yeah. It's kind of like okay.
The match ends when Hornswoggle decides to bug Vicky, and Vicky's like, "Ooh, get away from me, ow!" And Jack Swagger comes over, and then Jack Swagger turns around, and Zack Ryder hits his finishing move, the Rough Rider, for the win.
Yep. A member of Team Teddy getting the dubs tonight. For some reason, I was kind of expected to see Team Johnny picking up all the dubs, but no, they actually made this somewhat evenly matched in terms of competitors. It feels like they made an effort to be like it could go either way.
Yeah.
Which is even more insulting that they're like it could go either way. And guess which GM you're ending up with? Not fucking Teddy Long.
I made a joke here. I wrote down here that Booker T was trying to make a point on commentary about something. He said, "Cole, I had a dream about you." And then he has to pause for Zack Ryder to do the woo, woo, woo thing. And I didn't catch what he had to say. And quite frankly, I don't care. All I heard was, "Cole, I had a dream about you." From Booker T.
It's so gay. It could be gayer. I'm just saying.
Very true. So then we get Raw recap number 4. This time it's personal with Cody Rhodes and the Big Show. And as I mentioned in the front half, this feud is kind of all built on, hey everybody, let's make fun of the fact that Big Show keeps getting his shit rocked at WrestleMania. Ha. And so as adding on to that on Raw is Cody Rhodes handcuffed the Big Show and then put on boxing gloves and punched him in the face because Big Show lost a match to Floyd Mayweather at WrestleMania 24.
Yeah, sure. Just adding insult. Well, the best part is the fucking ref sees this happen and is just kind of like, yeah, this is fine.
This is fine. I guess.
There. I ain't trying to separate Cody Rhodes with fucking boxing gloves. Boxing gloves, which may I add, looked kind of shittily laced to me.
Now, very loosely worn boxing gloves.
Oh, yeah. Loose is an understatement.
So, okay. We get an earlier today promo. It is at 1:09 p.m. And and Cody is just walking backstage for some reason. Matt Stryker runs up to him and was like, "So, hey, Cody, what was that about on Monday?" And Cody is like, he's enjoying showing everyone Big Show's embarrassing WrestleMania clips and showing everyone that at WrestleMania, he chokes.
Yep. And he's apparently WrestleMania this year's on goddamn April Fool's Day. And
it is.
I'm going to show you who the biggest April Fool is. Fuck off.
In WWE. And then he's like, if you excuse me, Stryker, I have a plane to catch. And
I have a plane to catch. But he says it with such intensity, too. He's like, now, if you'll excuse me, I have a plane to catch.
And I'm so confused because it's 1:09 in the afternoon. Did he not need to be on the show tonight? If so, why was he there? Could Teddy Long not call Cody and tell him, hey, playa, you're not booked for tonight. You don't got to show up. Did Cody have to come to Newark, find out he wasn't booked, and then leave?
Oh, my God. Yeah, no. I don't understand. Well, to be fair, you know what? Actually, this could make sense because thinking about how the fuck WWE booked its shows in these days, matches just kind of got thrown together at the last second. I would not be goddamn surprised if in kayfabe, pretty much all the roster had to show up to every taping, and then just half of them got sent home throughout the night. It's like, oh yeah, it turns out we just kind of don't fucking need you. Bye-bye.
I mean, that's how it happens on house show loops. But come on, man, try to make this feel important in kayfabe, you know? Anyway,
impossible.
Match 4. It's the Big Show versus, by God, it's got to be Kane.
Yeah, no,
It
my
is
God.
two big plotting boys doing big plotting boy things on TV in a TV match.
Pretty much. I mean, look, I do love my big beefy boys. I love seeing them go at it. I love Kane and Ring. I love Big Show just in general. And I mean, they had a big boy match. Something I mean, it wasn't super remarkable. The one thing I kind of noticed that I've never like really taken stock of before is like, Jesus Christ, Big Show is just able to so effortlessly just like bend the entire fucking like top rope back by just casually leaning on it. It's horrifying, and I can kind of see how this man like was part of accidentally actually breaking the WWE like ring at one point, because holy
Yeah,
shit.
absolutely.
But yeah, so Battle of Big Boys happens, but then surprise, Cody Rhodes didn't have a flight to not miss at all, sucker, because he shows up with his shirt off for some reason.
Okay. So Kane goes for a flying clothesline and Big Show hits him with a choke slam. And then Cody Rhodes runs in shirtless but also in jeans. Was he trying to get on the plane with the shirt off?
Yes. Maybe that's why he got rejected. Maybe that's why he didn't go to his flight, because he tried to walk on with his shirt on and they were like, no. Actually, fuck you. So then he came back, he's like, you know what, I'll mess with Big Show. Why not?
Yeah, so he runs in to attack Big Show. Obviously, the match ends in a DQ then.
Yep.
And Show tries to chase Cody into the crowd, but Cody escapes him.
Cody's too damn fast, baby.
And then Randy Orton, who is also facing Kane at WrestleMania, he slithers into the ring to hit Kane with an RKO and the Viper.
Oops, all shenanigans.
Yep. So that's that match then.
That happened.
We get a highlight map package for the Cena Rock video for the match that is once in a lifetime.
And that's totally going to remain factually accurate for the rest of time.
Yep. I mean, I can't blame them at the end of the day, but also Come on, man. You knew you were bullshitting us. Come on, man. You knew what you were doing the minute you had Rock beat Cena at 20.
Yeah, no. You knew
you were running it back.
You knew you were running all that shit back because it was going to make you so much money.
Mm-hmm. Then we get a video package highlighting WWE Be a Star, WWE's anti-bullying campaign that was kind of the face of their charity initiative for the longest time.
Yeah.
All the stars were here. The Big Show. David Otunga.
Stephanie McMahon?
I mean, I guess she's a big, important person overall.
She's an important person, but like, I feel like if you're a kid in 2012 and you're like, WWE stars are coming to your school to talk about anti-bullying.
You got the short straw on that one, huh? Didn't you?
We got Big Show, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, the beanie guy, he's cool. We got David Otunga. Oh yeah, we got Stephanie McMahon. The one who works in the office. Okay.
Great.
WWE stars coming to your elementary school. The ones we can fucking afford.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Funkasaurus.
Yeah.
Funk is on a roll. Somebody call my mama. It's a Brodus Clay match.
Oh God. Yeah, okay, so this is a guy, he's funky, and he's also a dinosaur. You know, if I had a nickel for every wrestling dinosaur I had to contend with the, like, weird kayfabe of, well.
Man, what a dream match that is. 2012 Brodus Clay versus Luchasaurus.
Please. Oh my God. And I want there to be a stipulation. that if Luchasaurus wins, he gets to personally chokeslam every single person who works on Gutfeld.
I'm in.
I would be so in. Yeah, my mother's favorite pro wrestler, the Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, nowadays he's Tyrus, and I'm supposed to think he's a legit, serious badass. And the whole, honestly, it was more fun when he was the stupid Funk Dinosaur Man.
Yeah, incorrect.
He's also like 49, and so he's ancient and immobile. That's why I want 2012 Brodus Clay.
Oh, that's fair. Not only for the fact that was actually his like gimmick back in 2012.
Which I guess now thinking about it, holy shit, he was doing this when he was 39. This is
man,
the gimmick.
Dude, fucking Too Cold Scorpio in his like 50s or 60s now still has that kind of swagger. Don't judge.
Hey, that's fair. But yeah, Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay. This is I mean, I don't really know why they made this the gimmick. I guess WWE Vince thought this was funny, I guess. He was supposed to be.
That is how they create.
I mean, basically, he was supposed to be like the serious like bodyguard of Alberto Del Rio for a hot second.
Oh no!
And then in like 2011, and then like he goes away, and then he's supposed to re-debut, and they give him all these like hype videos where he's still doing like the serious badass monster thing. And then literally when he debuts, he out of nowhere does the Funkasaurus bit.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I mean, 100%. I'm going to sit here and say this was better than him being a serious badass.
Oh, no, definitely.
He is not good enough as a wrestler for me to necessarily buy him as this badass monster bodyguard type.
Yeah.
But him doing the stupid funky dinosaur thing is at least funny.
Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. I do think it's fun. Because again, I got down to fucking like Too Cold Scorpio dancing in 2021. Like 2022, whatever. No, earlier this year, 2022. Year of our Lord 2022. I was getting down with like Too Cold Scorpio, effectively doing the same thing, just a little more kind of like legitimate history to back him up. This is not nearly as racist as I was scared of it being. I saw this gimmick and assumed this was like Godfather 2.0. To its credit, even though he has two hot ladies in tow that are definitely dancing in sexually suggestive ways, they don't go this man with like hip hop funk is a pimp route. So it could have been a lot worse. The
Funkadactyls have a completely professional relationship with the Funkasaurus.
This seems fun.
Yep.
I can get on board with this. I'm here. Again, goddamn shame where he is nowadays, but this seems like a fun enough gimmick. I'll allow it.
Yeah, so I mean he fights Heath Slater and wins. What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah,
and then they like dance as we head to commercial.
Pretty much. I also love I need to take a second to shout out the fucking like self-congratulatory fun facts that they put up about like the brands. Like,
they're so obnoxious.
They're like just take like a good 10 seconds to masturbate on air after every few commercial breaks. Just like, hey, by the way, did you know we're actually the best fucking thing to ever happen to the entertainment industry?
No, they really lean in on how hard they trend on social media, as they were relatively early adopters as far as major entertainment companies go, especially their sport, especially like compared to other sports leagues they like to compare themselves to. They were they were quick on the train to be like social media trend, Twitter, use Twitter to hype your shit. So they're taking all their victory laps on that in 2012.
Dude, oh my god. They are so impressed with themselves. It's so goddamn obnoxious.
No. The did you know is always down for a really shitty fun fact.
It's not terribly fun unless you work in WWE corporate and you're really horny over how much money you're making.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so backstage, Zack Ryder is just walking around in the hallway. Yeah. They really love having guys just walk in hallways and then just someone comes up to them, and that'd be the setup for a segment.
Hey man, they know they've all the writers have watched The West Wing. They know the number one thing that like makes your show good are hallway walk and talk segments. And there's nothing else to take into consideration for what about that might be like specifically upping the quality of your show. If you got a hallway and if you got people walking in that hallway and if you got people talking while they walking in that hallway, you got a goddamn golden show right there.
I honestly would want to die of laughter thinking of the idea of like WWE thinks that the thing that made West Wing successful among everything on that show, the thing they take away is like, yep, this is why was the hallway walk scenes.
Would you be surprised though if it ever came out that like that was somehow the actual reasoning behind why this was such a prevalent fucking motif back then? Would you be at all surprised?
Not really, no.
Yeah, no, because they're just like, oh look, they did a thing. Don't need to explore any deeper what works about that. Just copy it, and we're good. Bada bing, bada boom.
So, Zack Ryder's backstage, and Eve comes up to him and, congratulates him on the dub. And she's like, you're not going to WrestleMania. We're going to WrestleMania. Yeah. And Zack is like, man, you're so beautiful and you're so smart too.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Eve decides to take this in the most offensive way.
And Eve said, and I took that personally.
Yeah, she's like, oh, did you just now realize I'm smart, Zack?
Oh my!
And she's
God.
like, you know what? Let's not get dinner later. And Zack is like, no, wait, Eve, come back. I didn't mean it like that. But like Eve is smirking to the camera as she walks away, and Zack can't see that. So that damn Jezebel.
That goddamn Jezebel. She's gonna ruin everything for Teddy Long's team. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, real shame that Zack Ryder doesn't watch SmackDown. He could have seen her do that, and he could see that she was blatantly manipulating him.
Real fucking shame that like just no one ever watches SmackDown. No one ever watches the goddamn show that they're on to get a little bit more context as to what may be happening.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Then we get another Raw recap of HBK, Taker, and Triple H.
Yes. Okay, this one I actually will give it to them.
Yeah, as they're setting up the end of an era.
Oh my
The
God.
Undertaker versus Triple H in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania.
Dude, this was such a dope fucking video package. I'm not going to lie. That was insanely cool.
Mm-hmm. It very was cool, and I really dig the storyline in terms of the emotional beats they're going for here.
Oh, yeah.
Especially this particular episode, what they're setting up is that like Shawn Michaels is the special guest referee, and so both Triple H and Shawn and Taker don't trust Shawn. Undertaker assumes that this is going to be some DX reunion bullshit is about to go down on him right now, and
this match needs to be pure.
And then Triple H assumes that Shawn Michaels is such a raging narcissist that he's not going to let anyone but him break a streak. So Triple H thinks that Shawn is going to screw Triple H out of beating Undertaker because in Triple H's mind that would prove he's better than Shawn.
Yeah, pretty much. But
honestly, they're both kind of right in that because that is a big emotional beat in the match that Shawn is conflicted about both sides of that.
Pretty much, yeah. I know that match is insanely cool, and I have to say, watching that promo for that match, knowing we're not going anywhere near it for this actual like arc as we follow it, feels like a kid fucking in the car with his parents on the way to IKEA, and they pass the exit to get off for like fucking Cedar Point or something. And he just kind of like watches through the window of what could have been.
Yeah.
That's me right now, Austin. I am that child.
Yeah, it's again, the whole thing is it's a whole really 4-year arc between the 2 Shawn matches and the 2 Triple H matches to do that, to lead up to that point. So I really do want to do it on the show, but I have to really think about how to do it.
That's fair.
And make it feel like we're really,
following
doing it well.
I get it.
Mm-hmm. Then we get I guess you could call it a Lord Tensai hype video. It's literally just pictures of Kanji.
Yeah. And then it says Lord Tensai at the end. Okay.
Cool. Great. Then Christian comes on to commentary for match number 6, the Great Khali versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. The match is pretty just kind of whatever.
It is we get yet another Raw recap of the Santino Otunga match.
It's just the same thing again. Why? We did this at the beginning.
We have recapped Raw so hard we're looping back around.
They're like, shit, we run out of recaps. Fuck, run it back again.
Yeah. So basically, Christian is actually here to just shit on Teddy Long. Because he is apparently injured, and he's like, Teddy Long didn't care for me when I was injured, but John Laurinaitis did. He literally pulls out his phone and is like, see these texts that John Laurinaitis sent me while I was injured. He cares about the talent.
I have to say, as someone who has no context on any of this, I mean, I know that Christian's a piece of shit who lies about everything.
Yeah, fuck Christian.
But with no context, it sounds like he has a point, and it's like, what? I mean, I guess I don't know. I assume it was more clear that he was lying in context? Question mark.
Yeah.
He's not actually injured or anything.
He probably is actually injured, but his framing, I'm pretty sure Christian's injured at this point.
Oh.
And he won't come back until Over the Edge in a couple months later. I think Over the Limit, excuse me. They never did Over the Edge again after Owen Hart, as you might imagine.
I bet.
Anyway, yes, but you're supposed to be like, this is Christian's talking out of his ass. Teddy Long is not some heartless bastard.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, they also talk about something about Johnny Ace fixing his phone. That's some kind of was that a major plot point up to this point?
No, that was just a thing to throw in here tonight.
Weird. Okay. And Booker starts dunking on Christian's drip, and Christian's like, "Hey, fuck you, David Beckham calls me for fashion tips, buddy."
Oh man, it's 2012.
Yeah, first of all, X. Second of all, is David Beckham known to have drip?
Yeah, he was a pretty good looking, fashionable dude when he was a top star in soccer. So I remember.
Fair enough. Also, apparently, Great Khali's nickname is the Punjabi Giant, which Christ. And we're talking up that momentum.
Yeah. So okay, the match happens, I guess. Dolph Ziggler puts Great Khali in a sleeper hold. And Johnny Ace and Otunga came down to the match to support Ziggler. I guess because Vicky didn't need to work 2 matches tonight.
Yeah,
and Johnny runs over to the ring bell and rings the bell and declares Ziggler the winner.
Yeah.
This is the second time we've seen this in 2012.
When you really get down to it.
Holy shit. We have a 2 nickels moment on Johnny Ace doing a screw job.
Great Khali screwed Great Khali.
Anyway, he declares him the winner, and they try to leave. And Teddy Long, it just comes out and is like, now hold on a minute, player. It don't work like that. No, the match is not over. And Dolph Ziggler, you got to the count of 10 or you're losing by count out. And then, and incredibly, Ziggler just stands there and takes the L.
Yeah, they're like, nah, fuck you. I won this match fair and square. I'm not getting back in there. Well, bitch, guess what? You just lost your momentum. Go to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, so Ziggler
Vanished.
stands there, takes the count-out loss, and then Kofi Kingston and Santino Marella run out, throws Ziggler back in the ring. Khali does the big chop to the head to Ziggler, and then Waka Waka, that's the end of that. The momentum is on the side of Team Teddy.
I'm sure that'll work out very well for them.
Yep. Then we get a video package high base of the CM Punk Chris Jericho WWE title feud going into WrestleMania. I talked about it the last time we were here in 2012, but now we kind of get to see it more in person. It started as a bit of a best in the world versus the best at what I do between the two of them. And then Chris Jericho is like, you're straight edge because your father's a drunk. And Punk is like, hey, fuck you, pal. And then Jericho's like, hey, I apologize. I won't say anything else about your father. Your sister is a crack addict.
Oh my god. Yeah, real big Christian Cage yelling at Jungle Boy vibes.
Yeah, and CM Punk is like, you know what? Fuck you, man. Not to, it's a 10-year-old feud at this point, but it is still a little weird that like during this feud, CM Punk defends his father because fuck you, Jericho, when actually his relationship with his dad is very, very strained. He's talked about it on WWE documentaries, and the alcoholism did in fact play a part in that.
Major part in that, probably, yeah.
So him being like, I'm proud of my father
dad. I was like,
is weird.
Interesting.
He does have a really close relationship with his sister, though. So that.
I know. Yeah, he and his sister are super tight, which is wholesome.
But yeah, that part is weird. That he's like, I'm proud of my dad, and I'm like, are you though?
Are you?
Anyway, that's the match for WrestleMania, and we get to the main event of the evening: CM Punk and Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan and The Miz.
Yep. Hey there, asshole. He's here. And then Sheamus comes out, the greatest white of them all.
Sheamus and Kerwin White would have made a great tag team.
Oh no! There's an alternate universe.
If it ain't Great White, it ain't right.
Oh no! There's an alternate universe where Eddie Guerrero is still alive and Kerwin White stuck around far too long.
Oh dear. I'm glad to not be in that timeline.
Yeah, just think about that domino effect. Like we get to like wonder It's a Wonderful Life Eddie Guerrero, except the fallout to him not dying is that Kerwin White like remains a much larger mainstay of the WWE. Yikes. Oh no. Anyway, but like, and then Miz, who is Danger, Too Cool for You, or something like that, comes out. And then DB is here too, along with AJ, and AJ is all, look at my boyfriend, and she kisses him again, planting and payoff. And I mean,
9 days.
9 days. And I mean, solid fucking match. That of course it is. You got four really good workers of the company all kind of going at each other. It was pretty fucking good, and I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan usually leaves Miz to get shit on when he can. However,
Daniel Bryan is running like a bitch from Sheamus all goddamn night.
At a commercial break, Daniel Bryan attacks Sheamus on the outside, kind of takes him out of the match a little bit. So that Punk and Bryan and Miz, get the double team on Punk for a significant part of the match.
Oh yeah, which just knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, I wrote Josh Matthews comment for once. Punk says, "Hey AJ, give me a call right off the Bulldog." Like, All right,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway, Sheamus gets the hot tag. He's beating up on Daniel Bryan. He hits him with the beats of the belfry, which is when he like throws you against the ropes and then pounds your chest in 10 times. Sounds very painful.
I'm sure it is. Yep.
So he's whooping Daniel Bryan's ass. Daniel Bryan like tags in the Miz and just bails. Sheamus tries to chase after him. Daniel Bryan gets away, but Miz immediately gets hit with the bro kick, and Sheamus and the baby faces win, while Daniel Bryan and AJ retreat.
Yeah, pretty much. And I have to say, knowing what's coming up, solid booking on it, like letting Sheamus get the dub on Miz to kind of be like, no direct interaction yet, but it's a coming, and Sheamus is gonna fucking kick your ass in about 8 seconds. Waka waka.
Yeah. So that was the March 23rd, 2012 episode of SmackDown. A very run-of-the-mill SmackDown of 2012.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, big takeaways I have from this, especially as this kind of got to be surprise extra context for an arc that we're already running. Honestly, I think my big takeaway is that Teddy Long is too good for this world and deserves so much better. And it's really fucking annoying that his team got bullshitted out of winning the whole thing for the goddamn ownership of both brands.
Yeah, SmackDown wasn't a super important show at this point in time, and you could tell.
But Teddy Long was so over.
Yeah, he was.
Did this ever resolve in a satisfying way? Did Teddy Long ever get like a last laugh over any of this?
I think he gets a bit of a last laugh, I think, when John Laurinaitis gets kicked out of the position of power in a couple months.
Okay.
But I don't really remember. And yeah, a lot of Raw recapping. I've already complained about that enough, but I think that says a lot about the priorities of SmackDown in 2012.
Oh, easy.
There are storylines and story advancement, but it's mostly not there for that.
Pretty much. Like,
yeah. AJ, I enjoy AJ Bryan, their stuff.
Yeah.
The Team Teddy stuff is fine, but it takes up so much of the show.
They're just running singles match after singles match, and the matches are all fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Yeah, it feels like we're in a holding pattern 9 days before WrestleMania.
Which is a weird amount of time to leave to already be in a fucking holding pattern.
Yeah, and like I say, the next episode is like barely a episode of SmackDown. So this is the last real This is the last real SmackDown before WrestleMania. This is what you get.
Damn, 2012 WWE. It was certainly a time that happened. But then again, if it weren't for that time in wrestling, we wouldn't be here doing this right now. So thank you,
Absolutely.
2012 WWE. I guess.
Thank you, 2012. So then for next time, we're right back here as we are back to the Love Square of the summer of 2012. We finished Over the Limit, where CM Punk retained the WWE Championship, but it was not without controversy.
No, sir.
So we are not done yet here, but also we also set up the pieces for AJ and Kane going forward. So next time we will be returning to that following the Road to No Way Out 2012.
Hell yeah, brother. It's going to be wild shit.
Mm-hmm. But that is for next time. Until then, David, hit our plugs.
Yes, sir. Oh, dear friends, thank you for joining us on another wacky, wild, random episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so delighted to have you. Yeah,
sure, I guess.
Oh, man, so wacky, so random, funny lol XD. We hope you funny lol XD'd along with us, dear friends. Returning listeners.
I hate everything you're saying.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. Returning listeners, viewers, what have you. You know the drill. Thank you once again so much for welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, what have you, whatever it is you use to consume our content. just keep coming back. We appreciate you. New viewers, hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. I like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to this whole wild, wacky world of wrestling, or you're a veteran of all the crazy shit that goes on around here, either way, we hope you feel welcome here. We hope if things feel accessible here, we hope you had a great time. If you'd like to keep having a great time with us week after week after week, and you're not entirely sure how to do so, well, not to worry, my friends. I have you covered. First of all, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Ring that bell. Make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. And just fucking enjoy it. Check out all of our playlists because Awesome is kind enough to organize all the storylines and shit that we follow into their own separate playlists. So if there's a specific thing you want to follow all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot, you got that. And hey, we got video on YouTube too. You can see our faces and the lovely little dumb visual gags we hide in here for all the people who deign to actually watch us on a regular basis. So come check that out, Noobs and Knockouts on YouTube. But of course, for fans of the audio only experience, Jesus Christ, I'm struggling tonight. We have you covered too. First of all, you can find us on 3 of the best places to find your podcast, which would be Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Come check us out there. Like us. I don't think you can like us. Give us ratings. Give us reviews. Download our show. Just anything to tell the algorithm and other people that you think we're pretty cool and maybe other people should be checking us out. I don't know. I'm just saying. Come check out Noobs and Knockouts on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. But of course, we also have a social media presence, which I totally encourage you to come check us out on as well. Of course, first and foremost, there is our Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Noobs and Knoxpod. That's Noobs, the letter N, Knoxpod on Twitter. Come check us out there. It's a great time. We post memes. We engage in discourse. We post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell's going on. And of course, the highlight of our Twitter is weekly wrestling live tweeting. My friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Right. So this is a bit weird for me. Is weird. This is the day after All Out 2022. I'm in a weird place with AEW right now, and apparently it's getting a little too wild for me backstage for that company. And so right now, I think I'm probably taking a break from AEW Live, but David isn't. So Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS will be AEW Dynamite. David watches it live every week.
When I have time, I'm currently in rehearsals for a show, so when I get the chance.
Usually live, watching it live. When he is, he should be tweeting out about it. Meanwhile, WWE, Impact Wrestling, AEW pay-per-views, I'll still be keeping up with those. But I will probably know how I feel more about AEW by the next time their pay-per-view comes around. But upcoming on that is for Impact Wrestling on Friday, October the 7th, is Bound for Glory. One of Impact Wrestling's biggest shows of the year. Should be really good. For WWE, they just had Clash at the Castle, their big UK show. So obviously, again, we're recording this on Labor Day. Not Raw hasn't even started yet. So I obviously don't have any matches to tell you about. But on October 8th, that same weekend as Bound for Glory, if you were paying attention to the dates there, will be WWE Extreme Rules.
Oh, shit, buddy.
Yep. They're doing it in Philadelphia, which, that's a risk. That's a risky choice, I think.
Well,
they're used to ECW violence. You're going to give them WWE violence? Well, okay.
That's certainly a choice.
If you're gonna open yourself up to that, but that will be coming up, and then AEW's next show pay-per-view will be November 19th, Full Gear at, ironically enough, Newark, New Jersey, which was happened to be the exact same place where the 2012 SmackDown was.
Oh shit! Hey,
weird coincidences.
Weird coinky thing. Yep.
Yeah, so that's coming up. Obviously, AEW just got out of their most recent pay-per-view, and probably they'll be building to Grand Slam before their Dynamite special before they build to Full Gear.
Yeah.
But as matches come up for Full Gear, we will mention them on the show.
Absolutely. So yeah, the new pay-per-view cycle started, so not a whole lot to say. But
yeah,
either way,
both WWE and AEW had a pay-per-view this past weekend, so nobody has any pay-per-view matches upcoming.
Yeah, literally, it's all cleared out. So be sure to check us out over on the Twitter. Wrestling Twitter is kind of spicy right now, and Austin and I are engaging in it in our own special ways, but we will do our best to keep it fun, keep it light over on the Twitter. We're just trying to have a good time. So come check us out there at Noobs and Knockouts Pod on Twitter. But of course, if you want to get in super direct contact with us, we also have an email address, noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word and this time, knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us there. Tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like, things you want to see more of, less of, general requests for anything you want to see specifically on the show, companies, eras, storylines, etc. All shit we're open to hearing about. Tell us how based our hot takes are, how dumb they are, and how much you fucking hate them. Start discourse with us. Just come say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and knockoutspod@gmail.com. And of course, finally, there is also our Patreon. We are also the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out to $1 tier friend of the show, the Sugar Daddy Kyle Smith, for his support of the show. Enjoy your perks there, buddy. If you want to enjoy your perks along with Kyle, sign up for us, that $1 tier on the Patreon, Noobs and Knockouts Podcast.
See y'all next time.
Hasta luego.